Nice to meet you. Nice to meet
Yeah.
you, sort of in person.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, dude, it's cool. I figured this would be a good place to start. So, I've been, like I mentioned to you, I'm a journalist by trade, so doing stuff like this is normal for me. I love doing this stuff.
Cool.
And I've been into hats since I was like 5. So I was like, you know what? We're all home. I can't go out and play softball. I can't play hockey. I was watching some of your From the Vault stuff, and I was like, maybe I'll just try to do some interviews, and I'll start with
Yeah.
what I think is probably the source from what I'm seeing
Okay.
is you guys.
Cool.
So, a ton of respect for what you guys are doing with the Fitted Hat Society. Before
Thank
I
you.
say anything else, because I'm going to ask you some questions, obviously.
Yeah.
Before I say anything else, the big comment I have to make is very few groups of people on social media, Facebook groups or whatever, seem to be as genuinely interested in each other as the
Mhm.
Fitted Hat Society, ready to help each other out. Even if it's something as silly to people as getting new hats or whatever it is, we're all passionate about it.
Yeah.
I love the way it just seems like you post, I'm looking for this and someone to help you. I want a discount code. What's a good site? Is this site legit? All these things. So huge respect to not only you guys who run it, but to all the people who participate in it, because it's amazing.
Yeah. It's good times.
Yeah. So let's just start like this. Let's start with tell me a little bit about yourself, because our only, I'm sure you interact with a billion people. Our first and really only interaction so far was when I first joined up. I was wondering about flipping a hat because I've never flipped a hat before, and you
Okay.
commented something like, "Gee, if only there was a group of 6,000 people on Facebook who were interested in hats."
Yeah.
I had a good laugh. So tell
Yeah.
me a bit about how you guys did this, how you started it up. What's the story?
Well, for FHS, as FHS goes, I'm not really a founder. I'm just an admin. So how it started was, it was a group that Robert Martin started. So he's a truck driver, and I guess he had a way to kind of just stay in touch with some of his truck driver friends that were into hats, and then it kind of just spiraled. And he, to his credit, he kept inviting people to join, and it's about 6,000 people now. So I got involved maybe 6 months to a year ago. We tried to just help him kind of legitimize it and clean it up, and set some rules in place, and help him pick a logo, so kind of brand it as a place for collectors to kind of hang out and share their stories, and share their hits, and some people use it as a place to flip hats and stuff like you mentioned. So
Yeah,
it's just a cool place to kind of hang out and share stories. And I think we're kind of enablers though, so we've kind of met with all the crazy people that like hats, and we kind of encourage each other, and it is what
two
it is.
two things happened to my hat collection at the same time:
Yeah.
COVID lockdown and the Fitted Hat Society.
Yeah.
And those two things created like a perfect storm. And my hat collection, I'm like a total neophyte compared to most of you guys. I've got like, I don't know, 35 hats, which is, to the people in my world, that's crazy. They're like,
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
God, how many hats do you have? That's insane.
Yeah.
And then I look at you guys, and you guys are like, I got 35 hats in the mail today.
Yeah. I
So,
wish the 35 was accurate, but I think I have a little bit more on the way. But yeah.
I mean, do you wear them all? Like, what's your connection with the hats you have?
I don't know, man. I try to wear them all, but I'm just a big fan of art and logos and sports. So it's I don't know. You're always just chasing a high, I guess. I don't really drink. I don't smoke. I don't do any drugs. So I guess hats are my vice.
You do hats. I mean, they could be worse things. My wife,
Yeah.
my wife and I, were joking because I see, people always like on the hush, like, send them to my office so my wife doesn't find it. But my wife totally enables me with this, and she's cool about all this, and she loves it, and she's got her thing, and I have my thing, and whatever we do. So I don't get any heat about it. I'm not one of those guys who has to hide it from my wife, which is awesome.
Yeah.
but a lot of guys are, I like that you said enablers, because a lot of guys I think the comment that I made of I joined the Fitted Hat Society and my hat collection doubled seems to be common.
Yeah, I think so.
So how did you get into hats? Like, what's your deal with hats?
I guess I've just been a lifelong sports fan, and it's just you get to wear what the sports wear, like what the pros wear, and yeah, and I guess I'm kind of a completionist, so like you try to collect. So I guess I started with like Toronto Blue Jay stuff, and then kind of spiraled. And then you go, okay, well, if I have every Blue Jay hat, let's try to get every MLB hat, and then you start getting into the world of like collaborations, and you start figuring out like what came out before, and then you're always chasing the old stuff that came out. But it's just kind of a thing that you just kind of progress. And then I kind of got into making my own hats for my softball teams and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then I kind of put them online, and then people were like, "Yo, let me get some of those."
Apparently you can move anything, right? In the hat world, you can sell anything.
Uh, it takes some skill, I guess.
Well, no, I don't
But
mean
yeah.
like that, but I'm saying like any like nice. So I was chatting with somebody because I want to do some custom hats for my hockey team. Actually,
Mhm.
we're called the Beer Hounds, and our logo is a dog holding a beer, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And the name is escaping right now. Collective.
Team Collective.
Team Collective. Yeah, I was talking with
Yeah.
Kevin from Team Collective.
Kevin.
He's like, dude, if you hustle and you got a nice hat, people will buy it. And I'm like, all I want to do really is have something cool for my team. So we're 14 guys, but you got to make your minimums, right? So he said, probably your best bet is order it, and then you won't have trouble if the hat is nice selling 6 or 8 of them or whatever to make your minimum.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I started. I've been wearing hats forever, and then one of my work softball teams, the head office was in Texas, and the buyer for the company that like bought all the company clothes or whatever, she had like something to the Cowboys, and then so she was submitting the custom hats to buy through like the NFL. So we were actually like, getting like pro grade hats with the company's logo on it, and then it kind of just unlocked from there. And
Oh,
then
that's
so
cool.
the coach he left and he moved on to other things, so I kind of became the default coach, and I just figured out how to make the hats, and then I kind of put them online, and then it just kind of spiraled from there.
So, most important softball question: what position do you play?
Third base.
I play first base and
Mm-hmm.
outfield.
There
So
you go.
I'm a guy
I'm
who
terrible at outfielder.
I'm actually an outfielder, sort of like naturally, but I got tired of standing out there because I play goalie in the winter. So
Okay.
I spend the whole winter sort of alone, which is fine. I've been a goalie since I'm 5 or 6 years old, for as long as I'm
Right.
wearing 5950 hats. And I was playing outfield, and I'm a pretty good outfielder. But after a while, I was like, guys, I don't want to play outfield anymore. I want to talk to someone.
Yeah.
I spend the
Yeah.
whole winter alone. I don't want to spend the whole summer alone in the outfield. So I started
Exactly.
playing first base, and the goalie reflexes with the glove hand help.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so back to hats. I'm going to ask you this
Sure.
question, and I feel like the answer is going to be no. But do you have sort of an anchor? And my question is like this: my anchor for all of my collecting is, what does it mean to me as a Montrealer, as an Expos fan, or something like that? So, for example, I'm wearing a Brooklyn Dodgers cap.
Mm-hmm.
So the Dodgers cap, for anybody who doesn't know who's watching, I bet you probably know this, but whoever doesn't know, the Brooklyn Dodgers farm team with the AAA Montreal Royals, right? They were here, and Jackie Robinson first played his first pro game in Montreal in 1946. So the Montreal sort of baseball world and the Dodgers baseball world have been connected for a long time. I'll wear anything Alouettes, anything Canadians, but then I sort of extended it. So, and a lot of it is your fault with your group because I just
Okay.
want to get more hats.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a lot of minor league baseball stuff. So, like, I just got a Delmarva Shorebirds cap because for like a year in the 80s, the Delmarva Shorebirds were the Expos like single A short season clubs. I'm like, I'm buying that one because it's cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for me, to keep myself sort of focused and to keep myself sort of on budget and stuff I want to wear, I anchor it all in. Does it mean something to me? I'm a little bit obsessive about that. I have to tell you, I'm like that in life in general. I
Yeah.
sort of, do you have anything like that? Or is it just, I like that Astros cap and I like that Blackhawks cap and I like whatever and I'm going to buy it?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, the I guess you just kind of go through like a checklist in your head. Is this a team I want to represent? Is this a place I want to represent? And does this team mean anything to me? So for me, yeah, for sure, I start with Toronto, ends with Toronto. So anything Blue Jays, Raptors, and now Leafs is harder to get at, as you know,
Yeah.
with the NFL contract or NHL contract. Sorry, but yeah, but and then it's kind of spirals to like what brands you want to support or what artists you want to support. If people are making their own customs, have they purchased from me in the past? I try to be somebody like not to toot my own horn, but like out of all the creators, I want to be one of the people that puts the other creators on a platform and purchase their hats and and give them a chance to shine and
Sure.
whatever. It's so that it's not just here's these 6 hats that I made. I'm not gonna buy anyone else's shit.
Right. No, huge respect for that, for backing other people, because
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna get into the hat sale game for any purpose other than to fill orders, because I don't have the bandwidth for it. I don't have the energy for it myself.
Yeah.
Otherwise I would. I mean, I got a ton of ideas. I have a couple I might want to do as a fundraiser. Like I think it's a cool idea. I'm in the Jewish community in Montreal, and I live in an area of Montreal called NDG. So what I want to do is I want to do a black cap with the 3 Hebrew letters for NDG, and try to sell that as a fundraiser for our local synagogue and community center. I think that some stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I'm super more inclined to say I'm going to buy something like a cap that you designed if you're going to help. You all help each other, which sort of speaks back to that 5950 Hat Society, Fitted Hat Society. Seems like to be like the culture of the group is we're all going to support each other. Like you were, even for this interview, you were like, yeah, man, let's do it. That's cool. Let's go.
Yeah.
So I love the sort of the vibe of let's just help each other with that stuff. Anyway, so you were talking about the teams you love. What are your no-goes? What will you not wear? For me, it's anything Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto and Boston, never.
Yeah.
Toronto, never Boston.
Yeah. So one NHL hat I don't own is a Boston hat. I do own Montreal Canadiens hats and Senators hats, but I will not wear them.
Right.
It's just I have them to say that I have them, but I'm not wearing those anywhere.
I respect it.
But yeah, but anything else is okay, I guess. I don't know. Like I feel like Toronto really doesn't have that many like big rivalries in terms of the other sports. I mean, like you can't really call the Yankees or Boston really a big rival of ours because they've been kicking our ass for a while. I won't wear a Texas Rangers hat. That's probably for sure.
Why? Why Texas specifically?
Is
the bat flip game?
Yeah, and then them punching Joey Bats and all that other shit. So I probably won't wear a Texas Rangers hat, but I own some, so I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't really take like rivalries too serious, but I will be selective on what I wear. Like, I own a lot of hats that are not Toronto, but I'll probably wear the Toronto ones first. So.
Right, but would you wear like a Calgary Flames hat?
Flames I don't have a problem with. I wouldn't wear a Montreal Canadiens hat, and I wouldn't wear a Senators hat. I won't wear a Boston Bruins hat, but other than that, pretty much everything's fair game.
So I'm like, I have trouble with this one, and I think it's just because I sort of have a bit of an obsessive nature when it comes to this stuff. So I'm not like a crazy super fan where I'll cry if the Canadians lose or I'll I get why people do that, and the reason fundamentally is life is hard and sports are sort of that outlet, right? So the guys who scream and yell in the stands or people who paint their faces or whatever you do, the reason, and I don't think you need a psychology degree to know, the reason people do that is because it's a way of saying, for 3 hours, forget work, forget my home, forget whatever problems I'm having, forget if I'm sick, forget whatever it is, and I'm just going to yell at Frederick Anderson that he sucks, like, for 3 hours. Like, I get it. So I get that. So I'm not quite like that, but I only hate, obviously we say tongue-in-cheek, I only hate the Toronto teams and the Boston teams. I legitimately, with the fiery hot passion of 1,000 suns, hate the New York Yankees. Okay. And the reason I hate the Yankees, without going too off topic, is because, and Blue Jays honestly also, is because the Expos sort of died because there was no salary cap. The 94 strike happened, and most of that was driven by Steinbrenner. So it's just this, we lost our, we had our part in it also, but the Expos used to draw 30,000 fans a game on the regular. Like, it wasn't always Deadsville. and I'm before anything else. I'm an Expos fan. That's hockey is we're Canadians, right? Hockey is the game
Yeah.
we love. I enjoy football. I used to work for the Alouettes. I have a Grey Cup ring. It's a big part of my life. I love football. I enjoy basketball, but baseball's right here. Baseball
Yeah.
is, and that's the whole 59-50 thing, right?
Yeah.
Why do we love these? It's because it's been the official cap of Major League Baseball since we were kids. I don't know how old you are, but I'm 39.
I'm 30, almost turning 35.
All right,
So, yeah.
so we're around the same age. Since we're kids,
It's always up.
it's always the 59-50. And I remember my dad bought me. So I grew up wearing the tricolor Expos cap, obviously, but it was always with the trucker back and the snap, right?
Sure.
And then around 93 or 92, when the Expos came out with the blue, the blue straight royal blue Expos cap, I got my first 59-50, and I have not looked back since. Mm-hmm. And I won't wear, with very, very few exceptions, I won't wear anything else. So it's really, I think if you don't love baseball, I don't know how you can love 59-50s.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, there's a bunch of people that get into it for fashion reasons, or
yes. I mean, you're wearing that's Ovo is Drake, right?
OVO, yeah.
OVO, sorry, I don't even know.
It's okay, cool. Yeah,
I like when he raps. I don't like when he sings. So I have a little bit of a problem with Drake.
No problem.
But I did like Degrassi.
Yeah, I never seen an episode of Degrassi.
I watched. I watched a bit when it first came out, and then he got shot, and then I stopped watching.
There you go. But I was gonna say, like for me, I was pretty much kind of the same way. Like I would never buy Expo stuff, and I'd never buy Vancouver Grizzlies stuff. While they existed. So now that they're gone, and kind of like that rivalry there's no real rivalry or whatever, but you can come to appreciate the stuff later. But as a kid, I would never buy anything Grizzlies or anything.
Yeah, no, I can feel that because they were.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
What is your? So we know sort of what world you're in. I want to ask you two questions about your collection specifically. What was your first? What was your first favorite hat, and what's your current favorite hat?
So my first favorite hat was, it's got to be one of my first hats. It was like I think it was called the Dynasty collection. So it was it was MLB hats, but it was with Chinese at the front. So it was like a Blue Jay, but it had like a Chinese character. Okay. I don't even know what it said. I'm Chinese, I don't even know what it said. But it was the Blue Jay version of the Chinese hat, and it had like a little Blue Jay at the back. I think it was like the Muscle Jay at the time, or the Roger Clemens, Roy Halladay rookie, the secondary one after they changed the logo. But that was probably one of my favorite hats. What was your other question? Sorry.
Your favorite now.
My favorite now.
Your number one go-to now.
Yeah, so it's for me. If like my stuff excluded, regular Blue Jay on field, or Legends League hat, anything that represents Toronto. So OVO, Legends League, Milk, even Over Your Head. Anyone who's a creator from Toronto, that'd probably be my go-to.
Dude, I have so much respect for how much you're into supporting your own and supporting people who are in the game with you. Huge respect for that. There's too many. The world in general is very. I'm going to do what's good for me, and support having this group. That's the thing. Like I said earlier when we first started, the thing that blows me away the most about the Faded Hat Society. If you're not in the world, it sounds so stupid. Like let's call it. Like I'm like my in-laws are like, your hat collection is stupid. They like it. They know who I am. But they're hats, right? But once you're in it, it's a whole world. It's like a world of, I guess, any group of collectors. Like I have a neighbor who I know he collects vintage toys, and to me, vintage toys, who cares? But for him, it's that thrill of the hunt and the
I think the big thing that kind of separates hat collectors from each other, and that makes it easy, is that the sizes makes it like different, that you're not really competing with one another, I guess, if that makes any sense. So like let's say me and you collected model trains as a random example, right? We would be hunting for the same shit, so maybe we wouldn't be helping each other, right? But if I know that you wanted a specific Jackie Robinson hat, and I kind of want it too, but I didn't find my right size, and I know you wanted it doesn't hurt me to tell you where to get it. So I think that's kind of where the separation lies.
That makes sense.
That like it's so specific to like what people want, and it's so easy to help out It's different with like stuff that's like either like jerseys where people, like a greater amount of people share the same size, or like
Mm,
even shoes, let's say, right? So like if I knew you wanted a very specific hat, it's only a couple in the world that would fit your head, right? So
right, right, right.
I think it just makes helping people a lot easier
I
rather
heard
than
the
just,
shoe game. I heard the shoe game is stone cold.
maybe, I don't know. I collect shoes, but I don't really buy shoes that hard. Like all my shit is all retail. I refuse to pay like resale prices,
Yeah, no way.
so I just get what I need. Yeah,
I
I think a
know.
lot of a lot of people that collect hats are weaning off shoes normally.
Well,
So like they either started as a
you could buy five
shoe
pairs of
collector.
hats and pair one pair for one pair of shoes. You know,
Yeah, it's
I
like
just said five pairs of hats. You could buy five
five
hats.
grand.
I
Yeah,
mean, knowing the
yeah.
way we all are, we could buy the hats in pairs. Um, so yeah. So speaking of just the buying stuff and helping and everything, um, how do you find? I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, or it just so happened that the hat game sort of blew up in the last 6 months or so. But
Okay.
how do you feel that the sort of smaller retailers, the Hat Clubs and Hat Heavens and those guys of the world, are going to be able to cope with the fact that all their stuff sells out in 1 second, and it seems to be bots on top of bots on top of bots? Like, for sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but to me, the number one complaint that people make on the group is, I went to a Hat Club drop and it was all sold out before I could even hit send. Um,
Yeah.
what do you think people are going to, how are they going to fix that? Or is it really a problem at all?
Um, I think the big domino to really fall was Lids losing their online presence. So they still sell online. So do you know the backstory of it?
I mean, Lids Corporate is a client of mine. We do a storytell, so I know
Okay.
a bit, and I know about the
Okay.
whole. They were sold to a
Fans,
no, I was going to say an investment.
like a private equity,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
firm
private
or
equity,
whatever
thank
the
you,
hell.
private equity.
Yeah.
They sold to private equity, and then they were flipped to another, and then Fanatics basically bought them, right? Tell
Yeah,
me the
but
story.
from what I understand now, I could be wrong. People could correct me, but so from what I understand, they sold to fans, and they sold the online portion of their business to Fanatics. So for like whatever, however much they were sold for, or whatever, 20 million or 9 million or whatever, they basically handed over control of their website so that anytime like a sale was made, Fanatics would pay Lids like a commission. So that was a big shift in the fitted game on just how people acquired their hats, because instead of just going on Lids, buying it, shipping it to the store for free, or using rewards, claiming rewards, getting points, whatever, it opened up a big portion of sales. So I just think that the market really hasn't adjusted to
Okay.
to that, because the majority of people used to be buying their shit off Lids, and then they encourage you to go buy in store and all that stuff, of course, because they make more money that way, because that's the only way they're kind of making their sales. So I think that was a big change in the game, and I guess like a lot of the small retailers are still adjusting. So you know, it's better for them that stuff sells out faster because they're not sitting on stock and putting it on sale later, and there's less risk involved. Is it better for the consumer? Maybe not, but it is what it is. At least they're offering pre-orders, I guess.
Sure. I mean, I guess on the other side, it also creates scarcity, and scarcity creates demand. And as long as you don't get pushed away too many times, like I would say, with my hat, because Hat Club seems to be the sort of epicenter of the selling out too fast problem right now. I would say my Hat Club success is probably about 40% of the time I get what I want. But I mean, I feel like some people are like, I've
Yeah,
never gotten anything. It's sold on one set. It only happened to me once. With they released a really really nice series, the fitted trucker caps, and it said Expos in the jersey font. It was blue and it was white in
yeah,
the back, I think. And I
right.
badly wanted that one, and I missed it. And I looked at my wife, and she goes, "That was the first time she looks at me. She goes, this stuff is serious. People really jump on this stuff fast." And I said, "So yes, yes, but I also think there's a problem with bots."
I don't think there is, but again, I'm not. I don't have any insider info
Right. Neither do I.
to
Neither do
prove
I.
it to prove it or not. I just think that they couldn't have predicted any of this shit was gonna go down. So the
Right.
first major thing that went down is that normally, so most of the hats are made in China, right? So it's like clockwork. Every second to third week of January till the end of February, they take Chinese New Year off, right? So this year was a little bit different in that Corona happened, and basically the whole country got shut down for a month and a half, almost 2 months.
Mm.
So that's number one problem in the supply chain. Their fucking factories just stopped.
Yeah.
So while we were waiting for all the hats to get made, we like business, didn't stop. So a lot of the orders that went through, they weren't really getting fulfilled. And then when Corona hit over here, all the travel stopped. They basically stopped letting commercial flights coming to North America.
Mm.
So a lot of the hats that were made after the fact didn't have a way to get here. So either cargo planes are really expensive, or they had to put them on boats. So there was a big delay in production. So that's another thing that people don't really
So
understand.
you think it was just really a perfect storm?
Yeah. And then now a lot of the New Era people in the head office, they're on furlough. So
Right.
nothing really new is getting approved. So that's why you see a lot of people just doing reruns of old shit, which is a blessing in disguise because a lot of people missed it on the first round anyway. So Hat Club,
myself included.
Yeah.
I'm badly trying to get my hands on so getting with my Dodgers Expos Montreal obsession. Somehow I didn't know that before the Montreal Royals belonged to Brooklyn, they for 2 years belonged to the Philadelphia Athletics, and for 2 years belonged to the Pittsburgh Pirates. So I'm looking for era specific stuff for that, and Mickey's Place, and I think Hat Heaven.
Hat Heaven just dropped a Pirates hat today.
Yeah, I saw it with the red brim, but it's 1903, and
too early.
I'm hoping they're going to come out with 1930s.
Okay.
So I'm like, I don't know. I'm debating. I'll see.
Yeah.
I'll probably just buy it. One of my clients, who's also like one of the coolest dudes I've ever met in my life, is a huge Pirates fan. So I think as soon as I wear a Pirates hat, he's gonna think that's cool. So, but that's also how it goes, right? There's a story with everything.
Yeah, and that's what's cool about hats. Like, like if you really talk to the people that know their shit, it's really interesting to see what attracted them to a certain brand or a certain team or whatever. So, yeah, storytelling.
Yeah, storytelling. I like that. I think that's probably a good place to wrap it up, because that's I think I haven't really thought about it as storytelling so much of it as more just like a hobby, but I think looking at it as more of a story. My family will laugh at me a little bit because, like I told you, I have this sort of like it has to have a connection and all those things. And my T-shirts are like that too. Like I'm wearing this baseballism.
Yeah.
Baseballism.
From the Sandlot.
Sandlot, exactly, from Baseballism. And it's, I watched the movie as a kid. My kids are watching it, then they stole it. So I can't just buy a hat because it has a cool dog eating a baseball on it. So, but when you position it as storytelling, I guess that's what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Okay. Well, oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Before I wrap it up, I forgot one of the whole reasons I wanted to talk to you was I wanted you to talk about the Capologist and the From the Vault. So tell me about both those projects, please.
Okay. So the Capologist was a joint project, or is a joint project, between me and the homie Tony Ross. So Tony Ross is an amazing graphic artist, real artist, paints shit, makes shit, sculpt shit. He does everything. So I've teamed up with him, and we make cool shit. So it kind of started as me hiring him to do a bunch of work and commissioning him on different projects, but eventually we got to the point where it's like, okay, we work together so much, we might as well just try to go for it. So we've done a bunch of projects for charity. We've had like an Australian relief, bushfire relief hat, and we did a couple hats for autism awareness.
I saw that one. That was the first one I saw. It was cool.
Yeah, we have a project right now in the works for guide dogs of Hawaii, but we're just trying to do what we can to give back, but at the same time make cool shit.
How do you choose which charities?
Usually there's some type of personal connection. So either someone hires us to make a product for them or make a cap for them, and then we tie it to a charity of their choice that affects them, or we kind of just pick. So no one really like told us to make an Australian relief bushfire relief hat. It was something that we decided to do, and then we raised I think we gave over $1,000
Oh wow.
to the different SPAs and all that stuff. But
Okay.
you know, we, we can't all be about profit, so we
No,
make a little and
I
then spread
do
it around.
I do these orange wristbands
Mm-hmm.
through my hockey leagues and stuff because my best friend has MS.
Okay.
So for us, sort of, my wife and I, our charity of choice is usually MS. So we try to do. I got these wristbands also from China right before COVID shut down. And
Yeah, yeah.
if you bought 100, they were X price. But if you bought 200, they became half the price and they doubled your order. So
Okay.
yeah, it was crazy. I ended up getting something like 400 wristbands for like a penny a piece, and I'm selling them. I'm selling them in my hockey league for $5,
Okay.
and they're going like crazy. And I wear one every day. They're going like
Yeah, yeah.
crazy, and we've raised like $800 in 2 weeks just in
Cool.
selling bracelets. So caps and stuff. I might hit you up to do an MS cap or something like that at
Yeah,
some
I'm
point.
down. I'm down. Yeah, we'll do an orange one. I don't have an orange.
I need
Orange.
more orange. I wear a lot of orange. I don't have any orange hats.
Yeah. I have orange hats, but I don't have an orange hat in my roster that I made.
Okay.
So
Oh
I'd love
yeah.
to make an orange
Okay.
hat.
Okay. Cool.
Let's do
We'll
it.
talk about that another time. So
Yeah.
that's that. That's. Do you have anything you want to show for anybody who's watching?
Uh, no, not really. But yeah,
Maybe not.
I have a YouTube channel that I started with one of my good friends, Pierre. He's actually half French.
Right.
It's called Views from the Vault.
Mhm.
We air every Wednesday at about 9 o'clock Eastern. You'll get your This Week in Caps. Basically, we try to give you different releases and information on different brands and what happened um, in the week, and then sorry, and then our pickups for the week. We
Mhm.
talk about that, and then on Saturdays we kind of do something called Cat Banter, where we either host live cat battles or do roundtable discussions and stuff like
Well,
that.
tell me what a cat battle is because I've seen. So I've watched. I watched actually last week's Views from the Vault, which
Mm-hmm.
is part of where I saw the dude you guys were talking to was talking about how he was in the sneaker game and it was hard.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the cat battle. What is that?
So we just bring two people on. It's a best of seven. We have predetermined categories. So yesterday's categories was we did two categories of major league sports, one minor league, independent release, custom collab, and then wild card.
Uh-huh.
So basically, you get 30 seconds to show off your hat, and then we'll have judges judging to see who wins the round. And if you win the round, you get to pick the next category. So
You have to have one of those in your. You need to have like a couple hundred hats in your collection to play this game.
well, you need seven minimum, but you just have to hit the criteria, right?
Right.
So, our good friend Jason Mead, he runs the 5950 page. Are you familiar with that page?
Nope. Say it
No.
again
Okay.
because your mic sort of went.
Yeah, it's so it's spelled out 59 and then 5 and then instead of O, it's just OH.
Okay.
So he basically aggregates news from 250 different websites, and anytime a hat releases, he just puts it on his Instagram or his webpage. But anyway, so Jason's crazy. So I don't know. Your wife might not like you discovering this, but basically, it's like a pop-up notification for any major hat retailer
Oh
that
wow.
releases a hat. But he is taking over that cat battle portion of the
Okay.
show, so he's going to be um, basically setting everyone up in different weight classes and stuff like that. So you don't have to feel like you need thousands of hats to play.
Sure.
So
So a guy
so
like
they'll
me with
be
35, 40 hats could play.
yeah they'll find you the appropriate weight class.
That's cool. I like
So
that. I like that.
yeah
I
so
just
so
haven't had a
he
chance to check it out, but it sounds really cool.
you'll like it and so he started an Instagram page for that. It's called World Fitted Federation. So it's just a way. He's got a website set up. He's gonna have ranking systems. People's like all the shit's gonna be tracked, their record, and all that stuff.
I'm definitely gonna check that. I'm gonna ask you one more question. So we covered that. Sorry, I almost jumped off without
Sure.
talking about that stuff. One more question. I just thought of it because it's come up sort of a few times, and then someone just commented, "Put that on the fitted. Wife hates us," as a
Yeah.
as a joke. Are there any women in the hat game?
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to
I have.
Marin. Marin's in the hat game. She She was one of the finalists for Lid's Ultimate Hat Collection contest. We got a couple other ones that are in another group that I'm in, Team Fitted. You know, Latoya, we call her Tut, Courtney. There's chicks in the hat game. There's not as many. I mean, it's pretty much a sausage fest, but
I was just about to
there.
say that. So my wife wears them.
Yeah,
She's got, I don't know, probably for every,
yeah.
she may
Marin's
have
on
like
right
five or
now.
six.
Marin's on
Marin's
right
on.
now. Follow her after. Yeah, J
I
Law
will.
22.
Oh, that's
She's like,
JLaw22. Okay, what's up,
yeah,
JLaw22? I will
yeah.
definitely follow you.
Marin.
My wife wears a hat, and I love when she wears a hat, and she knows it makes me crazy when she wears a hat because she looks good in the hat. But it's not, what's cool is my head's a lot bigger than hers, but because she has a ponytail back there, she can just put my hat
Yeah,
on. She'll wear a lot of my hats. It seems like one of those things, like, I feel like dudes are probably just more inclined to be obsessive about this stuff, but you always
yeah,
want to have women involved too. My kids wear hats. Like, why aren't their kids involved? But I won't give them money for hats. I'm
yeah.
gonna use them.
You don't know what size they're gonna settle on. So before you spend
Yeah,
big money on
exactly.
the
Well, my
collection,
my son
right?
my son has this badass. What's the smallest? I think is a 6 7/8 or something. Anyway, he's something like
That's
that.
the smallest adult size.
Smallest
Yeah,
adult size. Yeah, so he wears a 6 7/8.
yeah.
It's black. It's got a like a cherry red brim and the Expos logo in white, red, black. And he
Okay.
wears it. I curve my brims. He wears his flat.
Nice.
It
Gang.
is so cool, and he doesn't care, right? He'll wear his hat like this. He'll wear it like this. He'll
Yeah.
just pop it up like that. He doesn't care, and he looks cool no matter what because he's
That's
the
like
cool.
me. My hat never sits like still. Like I'm always moving it around, changing it in direction.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's cool
No,
now.
it's cool. So you're either you're cooler, as cool as my 6-year-old, or my 6-year-old is as cool as you.
I learned it from him.
No, he's awesome. It's one of those things. Kids see everything through this, like, this is awesome just because it's awesome
Yeah.
way of seeing things, and I love it. So my favorite thing with my kids is, and I've got 3 of them. My favorite thing with my kids is we'll go watch a Canadians game or an Alouettes game, and I don't care if they suck when I'm there with my kids because my kids are like this,
Yeah.
and they're like that with their hats, with their teeth, whatever. Everything is awesome, and I think the whole, the wonderment of this is cool just because it's cool is, and I guess sort of this maybe brings it full circle. I find it exists a lot in the hat world with grown-ups. It's almost like a way where we can say, let's lean our imagination into what we can do on a hat. And what's cool about it is you can collect it and you can wear it. And you can. I find people don't collect hats and put them aside. They're to
No.
wear. At some point or another, you're going to wear them, right?
Yeah. Exactly. No one's really buying hats that don't fit themselves on purpose, at least.
Right.
For the most part.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, Leon, listen, I really appreciate your time. It's been a lot of fun chatting with you.
Yeah. No problem.
Hit me up anytime you want to chat, or if ever you want to talk about anything on one of your channels.
Sure.
I'm going to be around. I told you, I remember somebody telling me when I was literally 5 years old, I was wearing a hat, and they said, they were like, every time I see you, you're wearing a hat. Watch out, or when you're older, you're not going to have hair. Well, joke's on
Yeah.
you.
There you go. There you
Joke's
go.
on you. It worked out okay, and I wear a hat probably 23 hours a day. So
Nice.
it's all about the hats, and I really appreciate the time. Comment here was Leon the GOAT. So far, that's what I've seen.
Nah. I'm not the goat. I'm just a regular dude.
You're
But
one
yeah,
of the
thank you.
GOATs.
Thank you.
You're at least part of the lead herd.
Yeah, the Canadian in me won't allow me to get cocky like that. No, I'm just a regular dude.
Right, respect. I respect that. All right,
All
dude.
right.
Listen, have a good night. I appreciate the time. We'll chat again soon, and thanks to everybody who came on to check out this interview. I'll probably do these once in a while with maybe a few other people. If you want to shoot me a message with anyone else you think would be good to talk to,
Sure.
I'd be happy to, and you'll be seeing me around. And thanks for having me as part of your groups. And again, we got for anybody watching, the Fitted Hat Society, the Capologists, and From the Vault.
Views from the Vault.
Views from the Vault. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No problem.
Views from the Vault. I just subscribed to that, I think yesterday. I got my first notification today, but I'd watched some already. So
yeah.
And anybody watching me, I heart NDG. That's the area I live in, and NDG is sort of like the Brooklyn of Montreal. So we're sort of, we always hype our own community. I guess like, what would be the Toronto equivalent? Not the beaches. Beaches is too fancy, right?
The beach is not that fancy.
Like, what's the area in Toronto that people would be like, I'm from this?
Yorkdale
Mall.
No. I mean, like everyone's got their own city, right? Like I guess like Scarborough, East York, Mississauga, Oakville, Pickering. Like yeah,
But
everyone's got their own.
people rep their own place.
Yeah, yeah. Like I
Because
mean,
here
if
it's basically here you're from NDG or from the Plateau or just Montreal.
okay, yeah, it's the same kind of shit. So we break it up. Um, yeah, where you're from, North York, Brampton, whatever. Yeah,
Okay.
same kind of shit.
All right, cool. All right, dude.
Yeah,
So again, I appreciate it. I keep talking to you all night, so I'll let you go. But
yeah,
I
no worries.
appreciate your time and thanks for doing this, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks for having me. Take care.
Later.